So from the double sculls to the coxless pair. 2 blades for each oarswoman, now to 1 blade. At the top of the screen, furthest away from us, all in black, the pair from New Zealand, bronze medalists in Seoul. Next, from the German Democratic Republic, it's Judith Ziedler at stroke there, 21. And in the bow, Catherine Harker, who won a silver in 1987 with a different partner. Next, Romania. Romania won the title at the Olympic Games and the World Championships, but this a different pair for them. The Federal Republic of Germany, who qualified 6 seconds slower than the Romanians to reach this final. And then the United States. They were 3rd in Lucerne, behind the German Democratic Republic, who won, and completing the lineup, Bulgaria, the Olympic silver medalists from last year. Terrific racing prospects here from these women. And masses of support from the Americans, who are hanging over the balcony of the Park Hotel, really urging on the American pair of Anna Seton and Stephanie Maxwell. But the first crew we take a look at, the Federal Republic of Germany, Chris.
Yes, some big, strong girls there. West Germans have pushed out to be in front. There's not much to choose between the 3 crews in the centre of the screen. The semi-final system is organised so that the fastest crews, the winners of the semi-finals, are drawn into the middle of the final, which should therefore provide the closest racing and the fairest racing conditions. And it's the Federal Republic fighting it out with the Romanian pair. The Romanians have a tremendous reputation in this event. The 2 that preceded them, Arbour and Hamegi, were virtually unbeatable in this event for 3 years. It'll be interesting to see if this pair is of the same quality. The times we've seen in the semi-finals would suggest they're not quite so quick, but still they're going to be very hard to beat.
And as we come to 500, we see that early burst of the Federal Republic of Germany already repelled, as the Romanian pair, 1:46.02 for the first 500 metres. Then both of the Germanys, one after the other, and Romania looking to stamp their authority on this. And already that pair from the Federal Republic looking in some trouble there, Chris.
Yes, it's a big and strong pair. It looks to me as if they may be rather heavily geared. It looks a little bit laborious. There's very little difference between women's and men's rowing in many respects, but because of the strength differential, it's very important that they don't struggle with it. Looking there at the Romanian pair, making much less hard work of it. The blades, the strokes seem to be much quicker. They're coming through the water faster, and the boat will be running faster for it. And one thing's for sure, if it's laborious after 2 minutes, it's going to be a lot worse in another 2. But it's the Romanians really pushing out. They're not a neat pair, they're not exactly rough, but there's the boat is certainly bouncing up and down quite a lot.
And they've really opened up in that second 500, and they've almost got clear water there over the German Democratic Republic. That's Catherine Harger and Judith Ziegler. Again, 2 very tall, strong athletes. But now another close look at them. And the Romanians really are a revelation in women's rowing. They bring along a squad that we're going to see rowing in a mixture of events, Chris.
Yes, they're doubled up. A lot of these girls, these 2 are rowing in the 8 as well. Technique is not the strongest point for the Romanians. They just get out and give it a great big whack. But I think their secret really is colossally hard training. They're known to do up to 20 training sessions a week. They really train extremely hard. And I think that probably is why they have achieved the success that they have in the last couple of years. That so far it's been the crews from the German Democratic Republic that they still have to beat. And at the moment they're sitting in front of this crew. Now these 2 girls are really rowing very well, rather more conventional. Nice easy reach out. There's much less bounce up and down on the boat. It's rather smoother. Note how they come away from the finish. And it's a much smoother action.
And they're certainly beginning to move the boat now. Ideally built, both 1.81 as we come to 1,500 metres. And the Romanians still look to have the edge, and I don't really believe that caption is right. It still looks like Romania out ahead of the German Democratic Republic, but certainly the GDR now closing. And the Romanians looking a little laboured now, and just out of our picture, you can't see it, but we can. The GDR now closing. There comes the bow, of the GDR boat, and they're really beginning to fly as we come into the final 250 metres to go, and it's every stroke, Chris.
Absolutely, and this is where the technique will show, because unless the Romanians can hold together, this incredibly strong pair from the German Democratic Republic is going to go right past them. They seem to be going, at least they're taking about half a metre a stroke at the moment. They've caught up from being a length down at the beginning of the last 500 metres, and they're coming up to level. And this is one of the best bits of rowing I've seen in the final closing stages of the race, because they're both crews under enormous pressure at this point.
So 250 metres to go now, and the Romanians must be absolutely destroyed to see a crew coming up past them like that.
If you can actually get the momentum from behind, it's very devastating. It's a tactic that I had to use very often in racing, but this pair here have really caught the initiative, and they've caught the Romanian pair on the hop, and they're going to go right past them.
Well, and they're still very young. Both of them are only 21, so they've got a good future ahead of them. And this is really a marvellous piece of power rowing. There's nothing the Romanians can do about this. This is a very well won gold medal, this.
I think it's just a question really whether the Romanians will hold on to second position, because I think they've been totally destroyed by the power of this pair from the German Democratic Republic. And here they come to take the line, still long and strong, but look how they're hurting. That's cost them a lot. It's been very painful.
Indeed, they've come from a length down to clear water over their rivals. Romania now dying with every stroke, and the Federal Republic of Germany almost catching them on the line for the silver medal, but they get the bronze, and the Americans coming into fourth place. A really magnificent effort, and women's rowing at its very best there from that pair from Berlin.
Yes, and here we see them. I think they were really holding on by this stage. They knew they'd got the race in hand, but they certainly wouldn't have been able to repel any attacks if there had been any coming. But what a finish.
And here the Federal Republic of Germany, a really brave challenge. They started very slowly, lost their way in the middle of the race, and then finished very quickly in the last 500. Almost got there for silver. So Judith Ziedler and Catherine Harker, 5 seconds quicker than the Romanians in the final 500.